A triple murder suspect from Charlotte was captured all the way in California. The video is body camera footage from the Imperial County Sheriff's Office. Benjamin Taylor was arrested after police found him in a tent. Now he's accused of murdering 22-year-old Markayla Johnson and her 2 children last month. Right now,
March 15th, 2024, Charlotte-Mecklenburg police forced their way into apartment 4B on Orchard Trace Lane. The temperature inside 62 degrees, 3 fans at full speed, vanilla candles and air freshener so thick it burns their throats. An officer opens the bedroom closet. Inside, a plastic storage container. He lifts the lid. Markayla Johnson, 22 years old, dead for 6 weeks. But her mother got a text from her yesterday. Someone had been pretending to be her for 45 days. Her 4-year-old daughter and 7-month-old son hidden in the trunk of a car parked right outside. The man responsible, already at the Mexican border. Still holding her phone, still texting her family. How did we get here? By the end of this video, you'll see how a killer used technology to create a ghost. You'll understand the warning signs Markayla's family missed. Welcome to True Crime Anatomy. To our amazing subscribers, thank you for being here, and may your family stay safe wherever they are. If you're new, hit subscribe and share this, because we uncover what the media leaves out. This is the story of a killer who bought himself time with text messages. December 2023, Christmas morning in Summerton, South Carolina. Markayla Johnson sits on her mother's couch, watching 4-year-old Miracle tear through wrapping paper. 7-month-old Messiah babbles in her lap. She's smiling, the kind of smile that reaches her eyes. Her Instagram post from that day, the caption reads, "My reason." This is who Markayla was. A Penn Foster High School graduate working retail at H&M in Myrtle Beach. 22 years old, raising 2 kids on her own. No father in the picture, no help. Just her, a paycheck, and a dream of something better. She wanted her own place. Financial independence, stability for Miracle and Messiah. She was tired of relying on family, tired of struggling. Then in late December, she wrote something on Facebook, a long post. A warning to absent parents. One day some of you parents are going to wake up and it'll be too late. Your kids will have created an image of you that you can't fix. They don't want to be around you after you missed years. They'll understand you didn't prioritize them. An apology won't be enough. The money won't be enough. Gifts won't be enough. She ends it with, "Kids grow up. They aren't kids forever." Was she talking about her own childhood? About the father of her children? Or was this something else? A message to herself she didn't yet understand. By late December, friends noticed a shift. Markayla's moving to Charlotte. She tells them she met someone who's going to help her. Someone who says she doesn't have to do this alone anymore. Her best friend from Myrtle Beach tries to FaceTime her in early January. Markayla declines. Send a text instead. "I'm good, just settling in." Her mother calls. No answer. A text comes through. "Can't talk right now, Mom. Later." Her mother would later tell police, Markayla never just texted. She always wanted to see those babies on video. She'd FaceTime me 3-4 times a day just to show me what they were doing. When the text started, I knew something was off, but I didn't know what. Benjamin Joseph Taylor, 34 years old, a presence on dating apps and social media. Smooth in his messages, knew exactly what to say to a struggling single mother. "You don't have to go through this alone. I've got space. Bring the kids. We'll figure it out together. You deserve better than what you've been getting." Markayla believed him. What she didn't know, Benjamin Taylor had a criminal record stretching back 17 years. Assault on a law enforcement officer in 2007, possession of a firearm by a felon, drug charges, probation violations, a pattern of violence and control. But online, none of that existed. Online, he was stable. He had his own apartment in Charlotte. A quiet life. Neighbors described him as someone who kept to himself, didn't cause problems. Within weeks of meeting him, she packs up Miracle and Messiah, leaves Myrtle Beach, moves into his apartment on Orchard Trace Lane in Charlotte. Her mother tries to stop her. I told her it was too fast. I said, "You don't even know this man." But she looked at me and said, "Mama, he makes me feel safe. For the first time in years, I don't feel like I'm drowning." Her social media changes almost immediately. Fewer photos of her kids, no more close-ups of their faces. Posts become generic, inspirational quotes, reshared memes. Nothing personal. A coworker from H&M notices. She used to post those babies every day. Then suddenly, nothing. I messaged her asking if everything was okay. She said, yeah, just keeping them private now. That didn't sound like her. Her mother tries calling in mid-January. The phone rings, then goes to voicemail. A text arrives minutes later. Can't talk, cooking dinner. But her mother knows Markayla's schedule. She never cooks that early. Another friend tries to visit. Markayla says no. Ben doesn't like people coming over unannounced. Ben doesn't like it. That phrase shows up more and more. What Markayla didn't realize, she was dating a man who'd spent nearly 2 decades learning how to avoid police, how to cover tracks, how to control a situation so completely that by the time anyone noticed something was wrong, it would already be too late. And on January 31st, 2024, that expertise would be put to use. Mid-January, neighbors in the building hear arguing, voices raised, a door slamming. One neighbor considers calling the front office but doesn't. On January 22nd, another neighbor does call. Police respond to domestic disturbance at the Orchard Trace Lane apartment complex. They knock on Taylor's door. He answers, calm, collected. Just a disagreement. We're fine. The officer asks to speak to Markayla. She comes to the door. Says everything's okay. No visible injuries, no signs of immediate danger. The officer leaves. No arrest, no report filed beyond the initial call log. Let's go back, retrace the final days. January 20th. Markayla FaceTimes her mother. It's brief, less than 5 minutes. Her mother later describes her as off. Distracted, like she's looking over her shoulder. Miracle appears on screen for a moment, then Markayla tilts the phone away. I gotta go, Mama, I'll call you later. She doesn't. January 28th. It's Markayla's grandmother's birthday. The whole family gathered at her mother's house in Somerton. They try calling Markayla to sing happy birthday. No answer. A text arrives, sorry, can't talk right now. Tell Grandma I love her. Her grandmother would later say, that wasn't Markayla. She never missed my birthday. Never. By the time the sun rises on February 1st, Markayla Johnson is already dead. So is 4-year-old Miracle. So is 7-month-old Messiah. But to Markayla's family, she's fine. Because at 8:15 a.m., her phone sends a text to her mother. Good morning, Mom. Just wanted to say I love you. Markayla was 22, younger than most of you watching this. And for the next 45 days, someone kept texting as if she was still alive. January 31st, 2024. What happened inside apartment 4B on Orchard Trace Lane? The medical examiner's report would later confirm what investigators suspected. Markayla Johnson died from blunt force trauma, the kind that happens up close, the kind that requires proximity, rage, and time. There's no sign of forced entry, no blood spatter in the living room or kitchen, no indication of a struggle that spread beyond one room. This was intimate violence, the kind that happens behind closed doors in spaces where someone should have been safe. The children, Miracle and Messiah. Were they in the room when it happened? Did 4-year-old Miracle see her mother collapse? Or did Taylor wait, deal with them after, when they started crying, when they became a problem he needed to solve? Investigators won't say. Some details remain sealed. But what's clear is this: by midnight on January 31st, all 3 of them were gone. And Benjamin Taylor was already planning his next move. Within 12 hours, he's on his phone. Opens Amazon, searches for plastic storage containers, large ones. Orders a 50-gallon bin with a locking lid, selects one-day Prime delivery. February 1st morning, Ring doorbell footage from a neighbor's apartment captures him. Multiple trips to his car, carrying bags, heavy bags. He's calm, methodical, no rushing, no panic. That afternoon, surveillance cameras at a nearby Walmart show him in the cleaning aisle. He buys industrial-strength air fresheners, scented candles, duct tape, trash bags, bleach. He pays cash. Back at the apartment, he gets to work. Markayla's body goes into the storage container. He seals it, carries it to the bedroom closet, shuts the door. Then he positions 3 fans around the apartment, all pointing toward the closet. Cranks the air conditioning down to 62 degrees, lights vanilla candles on every surface, sprays air freshener in every corner. The children, Miracle and Messiah. He places them in travel bags first, then wraps those bags in plastic, carries them down to his car, opens the trunk, lays them inside, then he closes it. And here's where it gets chilling. He doesn't run. Not yet. He goes back into the apartment, sits on the couch, picks up Markayla's iPhone, unlocks it, opens her text messages, and starts responding to her family. Markayla's mother wakes up to a text from her daughter. "Morning, Mom. Hope you slept well." She responds immediately. "Baby, I've been worried. Can we FaceTime today?" The reply comes an hour later. "Can't right now. Miracle's being fussy. Maybe later." Later never comes. But something's wrong. Her mother feels it. She starts comparing the texts with her sister. They pull up old messages from Markayla, study the way she wrote, the words she used. "She always called me Mama. These texts say Mom." She used emojis in every message. These have none. She'd send voice notes when she was too tired to type. Now it's only text. Her mother tells investigators later, "I knew it wasn't her. I knew." But what do you do with that feeling? How do you tell the police your daughter's texts don't sound right?
And the warrant shows that outside of text messages, Markayla last spoke to the redacted person on January 20th. That person says the text messages that followed did not match normal communications.
By late February, the excuses pile up. Every FaceTime request is declined. Every phone call goes unanswered. Just texts. Always texts. February 28th. Markayla's mother files a missing person report with the Somerton Police Department in South Carolina. The report reaches Charlotte Mecklenburg Police. 2 officers arrive at the Orchard Trace Lane apartment, knock on the door of Unit 4B. No answer. They knock again, louder, nothing. They leave a card tucked in the doorframe. "Call us." Benjamin Taylor was watching from a window. He sees the officers leave, waits an hour, then starts packing. March 6th, 2024, 6:22 a.m. Security cameras at the Charlotte Greyhound station capture a man in a baseball cap, backpack slung over one shoulder. He purchases a one-way ticket to Los Angeles. Benjamin Taylor boards the bus. In his pocket, Markayla's iPhone. March 15th, 2024. Charlotte Mecklenburg police execute a search warrant at apartment 4B. They've had no contact with Markayla or Taylor for over a week. The apartment management confirms no one's been seen entering or leaving. Officers force the door open. The smell hits them first, then the cold. The AC still running at 62 degrees. Fans still rotating. Candles burned down to nothing. Air freshener cans empty, scattered across the floor. An officer moves toward the bedroom, opens the closet door. There's a large plastic container inside, locked. He opens it. Markayla Johnson, 22 years old, deceased for 6 weeks. Investigators turn their attention to Taylor's vehicle. Still parked in the apartment complex lot, they get a warrant, pop the trunk, 2 travel bags inside. They unzip the first one. Plastic bags, sealed tight. Inside, Miracle Johnson, 4 years old. The second bag, Messiah Johnson, 7 months old. By the time they found the children, Benjamin Taylor was already 500 miles away, living in a tent near the California-Mexico border. After the bodies were recovered, the medical examiner's toxicology report revealed something even more disturbing. Both Markayla and 7-month-old Messiah had fentanyl in their systems. Messiah's results were worse. The report shows he also tested positive for cocaine, melatonin, and naloxone.
According to the toxicology report here that came out, the 7-month-old Messiah Johnson had fentanyl in his system. The 7-month-old also tested positive for cocaine, melatonin, as well as naloxone. Now, the autopsies reveal that Messiah also suffered a head injury and even brain bleeding.
Investigators still don't know whether these substances were given to calm the children, to silence them, or to cover up something much darker. But the autopsy confirms one thing with certainty. Both children suffered before they died. The bodies have been found. Now investigators need to find the man who put them there. Charlotte Mecklenburg detectives move fast. They know Taylor's already fled. They know he has a head start. U.S. Marshals get involved. They coordinate with California authorities. Border Patrol is alerted. They're told, armed and dangerous, triple homicide suspect, possibly trying to cross into Mexico. March 16th, 2024. Imperial County Sheriff's Office gets a tip. A man matching Taylor's description has been seen near a homeless encampment outside Calexico. Officers move in. They find him in a tent, alone, surrounded by empty food wrappers and water bottles.
Records say Taylor has a criminal history of domestic violence and lived with Johnson in their Northeast Charlotte apartment.
Come here.
He was arrested in California the day after Johnson's body was found, and 10 days after the police allegedly spotted him on surveillance video fleeing North Carolina on a bus.
When they search him, they find three things: Markayla's iPhone, her driver's license, her debit card, and a burner phone, screen still lit up with a text thread. Taylor doesn't resist, doesn't speak, just stares straight ahead as they cuff him. CMPD filed a search warrant with Apple. They want access to Markayla Johnson's iCloud account. Every text message, every photo, every location ping, every login, everything from January 31st to March 16th. Apple complies. What they find is damning. How to hide a body in an apartment, how cold to keep a room to slow decomposition, can police search a car without a warrant, states with no extradition to North Carolina. He'd been planning this for weeks. Every search, every timestamp, every moment of panic documented. One investigator later described it. It was like reading two completely different people. The warmth was gone. The personality was gone. It was flat, robotic. April 2024. Benjamin Joseph Taylor is extradited from California back to North Carolina. He's charged with 3 counts of first-degree murder, 1 count of concealing a death.
And is it your intention to reject the state's offer, plead not guilty, and proceed to trial?
His bond hearing is brief. The judge reviews his criminal history, assault, weapons charges, drug offenses, probation violations spanning 17 years. The prosecutor presents evidence, the searches, the timeline, the children in the trunk. The judge denies bond. His exact words: "Mr. Taylor is a tremendous danger to the public and a clear flight risk. Bond is denied." Taylor sits expressionless, doesn't look at the gallery, doesn't look at Markayla's family sitting 3 rows back. The case builds. His DNA is found on the storage container, on the lid, on the handles. Neighbors testify. The medical examiner testifies. Cause of death: blunt force trauma. Time of death: late evening, January 31st. As of now, Taylor's case is still moving through the court system. Trial dates have been set and postponed, legal motions filed, evidence reviewed. The families of the deceased seek the death penalty.
She was a good person, and everybody knows Kaylin would do anything for you. She didn't deserve this. She did not deserve this.
But the questions remain. Did anyone else know what happened? Did anyone see something and stay silent? Why didn't he run immediately? Why stay in that apartment for 5 days with Markayla's body in the closet and her children in the trunk? And what made January 31st the breaking point? What happened in those hours between 6:47 p.m. and midnight that ended 3 lives? Investigators believe they know, but some details remain sealed. Some answers locked behind courtroom doors. What's certain is this: Benjamin Taylor had 45 days to run, 45 days to disappear completely. But he stayed connected, kept texting, kept pretending. His mistakes were everywhere. And that's what led them right to him. Vigils are held outside the Orchard Trace Lane apartment complex. The community responds. Candles line the sidewalk. Stuffed animals for Miracle and Messiah. Photos of Markayla smiling, holding her babies. Her co-workers at H&M set up a memorial fund. Donations pour in for funeral expenses. Domestic violence organizations spotlight the case. They talk about warning signs, about isolation, about control, about how abuse doesn't always announce itself with bruises. Markayla's mother stands before press, and Markayla's Facebook post, the one she wrote in December 2023, resurfaces. It goes viral. One day, some of you parents are going to wake up, and it'll be too late. Your kids will have created an image of you that you can't fix. They don't want to be around you after you missed years. They'll understand you didn't prioritize them. An apology won't be enough. The money won't be enough. Gifts won't be enough. Kids grow up. They aren't kids forever. Thousands share it, comment on it, call it prophetic, call it haunting. Some see it as a warning about absent parents. Others see it as Markayla's final message to the world, a reminder that time with loved ones is finite, precious, irreplaceable. Markayla Johnson isn't the first victim whose killer used digital impersonation to buy time. In 2019, a woman in Arizona was murdered by her boyfriend. He texted her family for 3 weeks before they grew suspicious. In 2021, a man in Florida killed his wife and used her Facebook account to post updates for nearly 2 months. The pattern is consistent. Isolate, eliminate, impersonate. Experts say this tactic works for an average of 6 to 8 weeks before family members start questioning communication. Why? Because we trust technology. We see a name on a screen and assume the person behind it is real. Dear families across the country, start paying attention to text patterns, the way your loved ones communicate, the words they use, the tone, the timing. Because if there's one thing this case proves, it's that silence can be manufactured. Presence can be faked. And sometimes the person you think you're talking to is already gone. The red flags this case teaches are clear. Moving too fast in a relationship, meeting someone online and relocating within weeks. That's not romance, that's urgency. And urgency often hides intent. Isolation from family and friends. When a partner discourages visits, monitors phone calls, or makes you feel guilty for staying connected to your support system, that's control. What could have been different? If Markayla had known about local domestic violence resources, if she'd had a safety plan, if she'd felt like she could leave without losing everything. But she didn't. And now 3 lives are gone. If you or someone you know is experiencing domestic violence, please reach out. The National Domestic Violence Hotline is available 24/7. The number is in the description below. You are not alone. You do not have to stay. There is help. Thank you for watching. What do you think could have prevented this tragedy? Share your thoughts respectfully in the comments. And if this case affected you, if it made you think differently about the people in your life, consider subscribing, sharing, and liking. Tomorrow, we're covering another case where a killer hid in plain sight for 3 months. Markayla, Miracle, Messiah. Your story will not be forgotten.